We did it. We now have a confirmed higher output than input. Here's our input, 6.56 watts. Here's our output, 7.17 watts, going into an incandescent bulb, and we still have wireless power. Remarkable. Output is 7.18. Input 6.56. I fed the power from a receiver coil back into the transmitter, and it greatly reduced its power draw and increased the wireless power range. Like you can see that. I'll try and stand up without detuning anything to show you. We have the combined output of two receivers feeding back into the transmitter to reduce its power draw, and somehow that increases our wireless power. We then send that power through a big bridge rectifier into a DC board that can read the wattage out, and we're running an incandescent bulb at 7 watts. So you're seeing it right there. Input, and I'm getting close to it, so I'm messing with it. Input is 6.56. If I get too close to this thing, I'll detune it. Input 6.56. Output 7. We have 1 watt excess with phenomenal wireless power. So we've done it. We have achieved it. I'm proving that right here. Transmitter gets powered on. 2 receiver coils have their outputs combined, fed back into the transmitter to reduce its power consumption, and then the extra wireless power that we accumulate on the 2 metal collectors, the metal collector that's there and the metal collector that's on the base there, then go to a bridge rectifier, and we have more power out than in. We're stimulating a charge release, and here it is. Output is 7.20 watts, running an incandescent bulb, giving off real heat, real work. So I'm going to try and zoom in on the input without moving too much. There's our input, 6.55 watts. That's our input. Here's our output, which is slightly higher. And even if we're at the break-even point, it should be impossible to be that efficient and still have wireless power at such phenomenal ranges. So let that sink in. So you're seeing it here, folks. And look, the wireless power is just everywhere, and the radiant energy has become more phenomenal. Bet you I can even get this thing to light. Oh, yes I can. Phenomenal, look at that. We have maximized our radiant energy. I'll put this right here. Our output exceeds our input. And now I will shut my light off and let you admire that. Nothing is hot during operation anymore. 2 receiver coils in sync have their outputs combined. It back feeds into the receiver. The 2 receivers have their outputs combined, back feeds into the transmitter to lower its power draw. And you're seeing that effect right here. Our power draw is 7.36, fluctuating between 7 and 6. And here's our output. And I can get that to show over Unity if I would remove this wireless light. As you see, the radiant energy effects have become phenomenal when we backfeed the system. So now I will show that effect again. I'd have to do a little bit of tuning. Yeah, now we're not over unity because something got screwed up and touched a little bit. I was sitting in this chair when it occurred, and just my body being there, it messes with the tuning. So I'm going to try and get it just right again. As you see, I just gently touched it and we really screwed up the system. That's how sensitive this stuff is. Our input now is twice the output. And all I did was move this coil just a little bit. So now, nope, still not fixed. And it honestly gets annoying with how much you have to constantly adjust. Okay. 6 now. 4 out. I'm gonna have to really like make micro adjustments to the point where it gets annoying. That might be it. 6.56, I believe that's it. Made our micro adjustments. Here's our output. 6.75. Slightly over unity, and we still have phenomenal wireless power. So I'm proving to you we can have 100% wireless energy efficiency transfer and still have phenomenal unimpeded wireless power. So we did it. You see the proof in the pudding. I'll shut it off. No one can say anything. Everything goes out. This is off, off. And again, what I'm doing, 2 receiver coils, outputs combined, back fed into the transmitter to reduce its power draw from the cap bank. I'll turn it back on. Comes back on. We are consuming. The interesting thing is we consume a little bit more power until we turn this on and we have a load placed upon it. So now that we have a load placed upon the system, our input drops. Because when the load is run, we simultaneously backfeed power from these 2 coils into the transmitter, which is very interesting. And when that circuit gets closed, by turning this load on, it becomes more efficient. As you can see, we have real heat here. Seems to be kind of impedance matched to just this 40-watt incandescent. Because that's the one I mess with the most when I tune it. Your different loads will show you different effects. So, as you see, we can really see the output is higher than the input now. 6.56 in, 6.56 in, 7.20 out. So you're seeing it here. There could be no form of tricks whatsoever. We have a simultaneously higher current output and a higher current output and we have a higher wattage output, which is what matters. I'm showing you wattage out versus wattage in. So watts in is 6.56, in 6.56, out 7.25. So we have an excess, and we still have a phenomenal wireless field we can tap. Like, look at this. If I get this just perfect, this should light. So that's lit. Phenomenal wireless field. Didn't degrade that yet. Well, it messed with the tuning. We're slightly higher now. No, maybe we're not. Maybe we're not. See, I'm gonna have to move this back. It's all about tuning. So now we're back. And again, there's the output. Here's the input. And just breathing near this thing will affect the tuning. Move this away further. Again, here's our input. Yeah, something got screwed up or slightly out of tune again. So, this thing is so fussy with tuning. Try adjusting this coil a little bit. I think that did it. No, maybe not. And I should really have the video shut off for this till I get the effect mastered. Now we're slightly under unity. 7.38 input, 7.28 output. So we're slightly under unity now, but you see how the tuning occurs. But yeah. That's that, and stay tuned.